Hello, my name is Indy, and today we are going to be talking the age-old question of ebooks or real books. The first point up for discussion is the price of ebooks versus real books. With the ebooks, they can be quite expensive, the device themselves. I have a Kindle. I only just dug this out actually the other day because I've had it for years, for about 4 years or so, and I just dug it out to start using it again. So I think this is around like $200 or something, so e-readers can be quite expensive when it comes down to it. When it comes to buying the actual books on a Kindle or e-reader, they can vary in price. You know, sometimes they're only a couple dollars, or sometimes they're up to, $10 or more. With new release books, they're generally around the $10 mark. I personally haven't really bought many. I got this disc from one of my friends that had 5,000 free books on it, so I have lots on here for free so far. But I've looked up the prices of books, and they're quite cheap in comparison to real books. When it comes to buying books on the e-reader, as I said, most new releases can be around $10. And personally, I would prefer to just buy the paperback copy, which this one isn't a paperback, for around $11 or $12, because that means I can have it on my shelf. But if I were to travel, then maybe this would be a better option, I guess. In comparison to the e-readers, real books can cost up to $30 in hardcover. So it makes the e-reader seem like the books could be a lot cheaper, and sometimes they are, but I also do love myself a good, nice book. Next is the look and feel of the books in comparison to the e-readers. So when you buy a book on a Kindle, yes, sometimes it may have the cover like this, and it is quite exciting. It's just as it is. Like, you think they mostly look the same, really. It's the same device. Oh look, it's another book. I don't feel like it's that exciting. I love getting new, proper, real books because I love to have them and to hold them till death do we part. And have them forever. Well, I suppose if you don't have them forever, but you can have them and hold them and hug them when you're done, or just before. You just hug them. You just hug them. They're also different looking. There's different shapes and sizes, and you can fill your book wall with them and have like a beautiful display of all these different books. Whereas on the e-reader, they're just all here. They're on this device. But for the look and feel, this one wins, of course. When it comes to accessibility of books, on the e-readers, you can generally buy them when they come out at midnight. So that's a lot of good. I haven't done that personally before, but I know that's really handy for people who are really keen on books. And I might start doing that now that I've charged up my Kindle after so many years. I also like to go and get the copy straight away of the book instead of the e-reader, but as I said, I might give it a go. But, you don't have to wait for this one to come out at the shops, but generally they only take like a day or two before they are actually out. So it's not such a bad thing for me, unless it's a book I need, and I need it now type sort of situation. Also, when you have a real book, it is handy to go to bookshops and you can easily browse shelves and shelves of all the different books, and you can read the synopsises and choose them by their cover, which I know is probably a bad idea, but it's also a good idea. So yeah, you can go around and browse and look at the books a lot easier than on your e-reader sometimes. You have to swipe pages, then you have to try and remember which page you came back to look for it, and you have to press all the buttons, and sometimes it just takes a really long time. So when it comes to travelling, I feel like there is no doubt that the e-reader is a much better choice in every way. It is small, it's compact, it can hold up to hundreds of books in this just small thing. It's so much lighter and easier to take with you than a real book, although I personally like to take real books. I have this issue a bit usually when I'm going travelling. I'm always at the end of a book, so I always have to take another book with me, just because I'm going to finish that one in the first couple days, and it's really irritating. So it might be handy on the e-reader to actually have them both on there, so I don't even have to worry about taking more than one book. I feel like then there's the issue of, I already have the physical copy of the book. Do I also buy it on my e-reader and spend the extra money for that? Or is it really a waste of money? I haven't come across this problem yet, but I'm not sure what I will do in this instance. As I said, I've never actually taken my Kindle away anywhere. But I feel like, is there an issue with plugging in, like, you know, different charging cords for different countries if you're taking it overseas? Like, will it plug in as well? Mine just has a USB charging, but, like, what if I'm not taking my computer with me? I'm not really sure what I'm going to do when it comes to charging my little baby here. Lastly, when it comes to ebooks and traveling, there's the issue of when you're reading them on the plane, you have to turn off all devices for at least 20 minutes or so when you're ascending in the plane. So with a real book, you don't have any issues with having to turn it off because it's not electronic. So the book wins, always. When it comes to being comfortable and reading, I feel like the e-reader would probably be a better choice. As I said, haven't read it in a while, so I don't know. But it's a lot lighter than other books, and it would make eating. Do you know the struggle of eating and reading? Like, with a real book, like, you can't, like, you can open it, see that's okay right now, but like, when I'm trying to eat, sometimes they don't stay open. This one is okay because it's a hard copy. With a paperback book, if you're trying to read, it doesn't stay open. It doesn't stay open, and it's really irritating. And especially when you're eating food and stuff, you know, crumbs get stuck in here. They wedge themselves in unnecessarily, and you cannot get them out once they are in there. There's food in the book for eternity, just in there. Ugh. When it also comes to eating and drinking, the ebook doesn't fare well with water now, does it? No. With these, you can still kind of salvage them if you get them wet. If you drop them in a puddle, that may be another story. But they just get all crinkly, as you know, but it's irritating. So this probably wins out when it comes to water. I like reading a book in the bath sometimes. It is a little scary because I'm like, I could ruin this book if I drop it. But I don't think I would ruin it as bad as this one if I dropped it in the water. So, book, wet drinking with water and yada yada. Ebook with reading and eating. The issue, of course, with reading an ebook in the outside daytime world is reading in the sun. Like laptops and other electronic devices, in the sun it doesn't work so well. So, other books, when the other pros and cons I have for reading real books and ebooks is I personally like to have 2 pages to read. I like to read this page and then this page and turn the page. I feel like I achieve a lot more that way, reading 2 pages instead of 1 and just flicking it over with the ebook. I don't know if that's just a fussy thing or if other people feel that way, but that's what I like. With Kindles and stuff, I like the handy function that they have dictionaries and you can highlight words and they can give you synonyms of stuff if you don't understand. So sometimes I come across words and like, I don't know what that means. So with this, you can sometimes dictionary search it and find out what it means. So that's really handy. You can't do that with real books. You can't. With the ebook, I feel like I have this thing about unnecessary technology. Like if I don't have to use the technology, I won't. So I feel like using this, even though it's not backlit or anything like that, I don't like to use as much because I don't like using technology when I don't have to. Like if I have a real book, I feel much more like old school and awesome, and I feel better for my eyes to read a proper book instead of an ebook. Generally, when it comes to ebooks, you can't really lend them out to people. So that's a bit of an issue. Like with real books, you can lend them to people if you really want to. But with ebooks, you can't really. Although, I have heard a new thing from the Barnes & Noble's Nook Books. They have this new function called Lend Me, so obviously you can lend books to your friends on the e-reader. When it comes to finishing a book, the ebook, you just flip it and you're done. And it's like, oh, awesome, back to the home screen. But when you finish a real book, I like to have this thing where I like to slam it shut to be like, I'm done. It's more rewarding to finish a proper book, and then you just get to put it away and you're like, done. Look at that. I achieved something. Finally, in the debate, you can't get ebooks signed. Not that I own any books myself that are actually signed, but it would be so cool because you get the signature in the front. With ebooks, no, they can't sign it for you. So you have to go and buy a proper copybook anyway if you want to get the author to sign it. So overall in the debate, the Kindle has lots of positives and lots of negatives, but so do real books. Personally, I prefer a real book just for the feel and reading 2 pages and just so I can display it on my beautiful bookshelf. No denying though, I think this is the best thing for travel. So I'm definitely going to hit that up when I go to America next year. And I'm going to load heaps of books on here so I don't have to take like 40 books with me on my 2-week trip. Not that I read that many books. Overstatement. Thank you for watching my discussion on ebooks versus real books. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other points that you think are worth discussing, like, please leave it in the comments. Like it and subscribe if you wanna keep seeing life type news and book type news. And love you all.